got a lot of nice lighters, but it's still hard to beat a nice match for a great light pipe. Some Mississippi Mud in my Denny Foxworth natural freehand pipe. Very nice pipe. Smoked a little hot, got that scorch mark, but there really isn't anything wrong with the bowl. I thought at first it had burned through, but it's solid. It just got the finish too hot. Anyway, he's making me another one. Anyway, send him a pipe kit. He's gonna carve it up for me, so it'll be nice. He offered that for free, which is very, very kind of him. At that point, I thought that the bowl was too thin, but I really don't think so. I mean, maybe because the bowl goes in slightly and the hole is basically just straight through. Perhaps it could have, I guess, been tapered at the bottom. But anyway, regardless, he's making me another one, which would be really nice. That should do it, hopefully. Got some Mississippi Mud in here. Some ones I had earlier this morning. It goes out of my bar next to my pipes. Sometimes I'm just too lazy to go for a different blend. One problem with having a lot of open tobaccos at the same time is that you have to really hunt for different ones that you're looking for, because they got jars stacked in front of jars now, which is kind of a good problem, but kind of not to have. Hope you guys having a good day. It's been a nice Saturday for me. Adjust my table a little bit here. Sit back in my chair. Put my screen a little closer. Oh, that's probably good. Batman shirt on. I have a long history of Batman. When I was a kid, I remember one of my uncles who was living at home still with my grandparents used to watch the old Adam West, Burt Ward version of the 60s Batman on TV. You know, the one with all the crazy characters, Sid Caesar and all the different, Meredith Burgess, all the different rivals that Batman had. I remember liking that show a lot when I was a kid. Pretty exciting. My Uncle Mark used to love the show, so he was the one, my uncle living at home still, but I got older. Must have been in my probably in my late teens. When I used to work out, I had a Batman t-shirt for some reason. And I'd wear it to the gym as my workout shirt, you know. So the guys that I worked out with, there were about 4 or 5 guys at that time. They were all these big bodybuilder guys, and I was just an 18-year-old scrawny kid. Well, I wasn't scrawny really, but I wasn't, muscly like those guys. But me and this other kid I went to high school with, we used to work out in the same group with these other guys, and his name was Chris. And so this guy that we knew that worked out with us, Mike, he was gym manager at the time, Valley champion wrestler from Cal State Bakersfield. He started calling me Batman, and my friend Robin. So Batman and Robin, that's who we were, because his name was Chris, and somehow that worked into Christopher Robin, and then Robin in my Batman shirt. So anyway, I was called that for a few years at the gym, and then a few years ago, my wife bought me a Batman shirt, and I wore that to the gym. So a couple guys that worked out with there started calling me Batman again. So that was kind of funny. So anyway, that's my long history of Batman association. Kind of fun. Well, today's been a nice day. We started off by going to a memorial service from a lady that went to our church. Her name was Jeanette, and she had actually been in the youth group with my mom. This would have been in the late 50s, and in 1964, never mind. Her memorial service, the pastor talked about some things. She had been a teacher for Wycliffe Bible translators in Brazil for a number of years. He said she went there in 1975, and she was gone until about 1995. So she was in Brazil for 20 years as a missionary teacher. Anyway, she came back. She was also a first grade teacher here in the Bakersfield City schools. So her and my wife used to talk about first grade trials and tribulations. They had that in common. Then, so we went to church with her for years. Then we changed churches for a few years. And during that time, Jeanette started having issues with not really early, she had Alzheimer's disease. Now, her father had also had Alzheimer's disease, and she took care of him for years and years when she came back from Brazil. It's sad to see that she died basically with it. She was almost 80, so she lived a long enough life, but I think she had Alzheimer's for probably the last 10 years or so, that kind of stinks. Anyway, we went to her memorial service today. It was a small crowd. Our church, though, as I mentioned before, it's shrunk quite a bit, and there aren't many people that go there now that have been going there for more than 10 years. Myself and Amy and her mom and my stepdad and a couple other families in the church, or couples really, were the only ones that are original members. The rest of the people are new, which is good, but therefore when someone passes away that's a long-time member, not many people go. So, but it was nice. We went, did that for a while, then we took my wife's mom home. She also has minor dementia things. She can't remember the names of anyone, even her own daughters. She'll say, my oldest daughter, my middle daughter or youngest daughter. And my youngest daughter's daughter. She just can't remember names. It's got to be really frustrating for her. It's sad to see how she struggles with that, because it just kind of started happening about a year or so ago. As I mentioned before, she's still driving. We're not sure how far to go with that, because we don't want her to go someplace and get lost. This is the same lady that's having the problems with the solar company. She went with us today. We picked her up and took her back home. But it's just sad to see people as they get old. She's 78. She'll be 78 actually next week, I think. But I guess we're all going to get there, right? I like matches, but after a few times, I go back to my lighter. Convenience sake, Anyway, we did that. Then we had to go to the grocery store and do some shopping. Came home. I get up about 5:30 today. I get up early on the weekend, so when we get home like that, I'm always ready to take a nap, especially on the weekends. Saturdays and Sundays, I love taking naps on those days. I used to hate taking naps, but I really enjoy them now. But today, we got home. My son Spencer brought his two daughters over. He and his wife were going to go out on a little lunch date, so he brought his daughters over. So his daughter, Winnie and Scout, they are almost Winnie's almost 5, but she's the one. If you remember my past stories, she was born at 26 weeks, so she's very tiny. Smart as a whip, but she's very tiny. So. Her sister Scout is about 2 years old, and she is bigger than Winnie. But they're fun. It was fun to have them. We had them for a couple hours, so there were no naps today. So I had to rely on some coffee. And I've got this here, which is kind of Crystal Light Energy. Strawberry flavored. It's got kind of a bitter aftertaste, but I discovered if you have a soda stream, you can carbonate the water, then pour the mix in. It makes for a pretty nice caffeinated drink. So if you're not always in the mood for more coffee, there's always that option. So I've been sucking down a lot of those lately at work and on the weekends like today. Also today, I've told the stories about my dad before and all that. Well, he had a separate family. He got married in 2 sons and a daughter. So today I decided to reach out on Facebook and request all 3 of them as Facebook friends. Now, I've only seen them a couple times my entire life. My dad used to pick me up sometimes, and I'd spend some time with them when they were in town. We'd go to lunch together, the whole family, and I'd go with them. But it's been probably 30 years since I've seen, no, longer than that. It's been probably close to 50 years since I've seen all of them together. One of my brothers came to our wedding. That was 37 years ago. That's the last time I've seen him. The other one, I went to his wedding. Anyway, I haven't seen him very often, but I decided to reach out on Facebook and request him as friends. So I got a nice note from my half-sister, Carrie. So we wrote a couple messages back and forth, which was pretty nice. Kind of cathartic to do that. It feels kind of good. I was always hesitant to do that because you don't want to impose yourself into someone's life that you really don't know. But I'm just thinking, they're my half-brothers and sister, and life's kind of short. I mean, I'm 61. I just thought, well, it might be a good thing to reach out and kind of get to know them better. So she accepted my Facebook friend request. I haven't heard from my half-brothers yet. That's weird to say that because I'm not used to talking about them really, but we'll see. One of them is a policeman in Northern California. The other one's a teacher in Northern California. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's about the extent of the excitement for my day. It's been a pretty nice Saturday. Tomorrow, Sundays are usually pretty routine for us, pretty consistent. We get up, go to church, come home, hope to take a nap, kind of relax, get things ready for Monday, and then the week will start again. Not a bad way to spend a day. Although Sunday evenings, I always get the Sunday evening blahs. I don't know why really. I guess just because your weekend's over and you got to go back to work the next day. But only for a few more months. 4.5 months I'll be retired. Looking forward to that. I took a day off yesterday from work. I don't know if I mentioned that or not on my video yesterday, but anyway, I had a pretty good list of to-do things, so I spent a few hours working out in my front yard, trimming hedges and bushes and all kinds of things, and spent some time cleaning out a pipe under our kitchen sink. Anyway, all those type of things. I worked a lot harder at home than I do at work. So I'm going to have to think before I take another vacation day like that. The best part about taking a vacation day is the night before. No, you don't have to get up and go to work the next day. Anyway, it was nice. Well, it's been about 14 minutes, guys. I hadn't even planned on telling you all this stuff, but I just felt like making a video. So hope you all are doing good and have a nice weekend. Talk to you soon. God bless you.